This is a short video tutorial on how to create a jump cut. So here you'll see an example of a jump cut. Notice that the person kind of jumps across the screen. Okay, so here we are in Premiere and you can see that I've put this piece of footage on the timeline just down here. If I scrub through that, you'll see it's just a piece of footage when I finally come out of the house of me walking along this path and going through a gate. All right, so I'm just going to go to the start of that because we only need it once I appear. There I am just appearing. All right, so don't need this bit of the clip, so we can just shrink that up, move our playhead back and rearrange our clip a little bit. I might just expand that out just a little bit with a plus, probably not that much. That should be okay. Okay, so what we're essentially going to do is divide this clip up into hopefully even sections, and then we're just going to sort of delete every second section. And so that's going to give the impression of me, in this case, kind of jumping across the screen. And the whole point is to try and just sort of, like to get rid of time that doesn't really add anything to the story. We know where the person was starting. We know where they were heading. Do we really need to see them walk the whole path? Probably not. And also by adding a jump cut, it gives us a little bit of visual interest. Okay, so let's start. So the first thing we need to do is set up some markers. So if you press M on your keyboard, that will add a marker in wherever this blue playhead is. So if I press it now, you'll see that it's added that little green marker. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move forward a few seconds, add another marker, go roughly the same amount, another marker, same amount again, another marker, and same again. And we only want up to about here. Okay, we'll add a marker at the end, and then we'll just shrink up this other stuff that we don't need. Okay, so now we've got our clip divided up roughly evenly. It's not perfect, as you can see, but for the purpose of this tutorial, it will be fine. All right. Okay. All right, I like to work a little bit bigger than that, so we just need to be able to see our markers. That'll do us. All right. Okay, so what we've got now is our pointer tool, or our selection tool as it's called. That allows us to select stuff and to move it around on the timeline, etc. But if what we want to do is actually split this clip up. So the way we're going to do that is with what's called the razor tool. See, that's just here. It looks like a little razor blade. I like my keyboard shortcuts, and I know that if I press C, that's going to give me the razor. Okay, so we don't need to raise at the very start of the clip, but what we'll do is I'll show you how this works. If we move our playhead along and we right click, we can go to the next marker. So that takes us exactly to that marker. So I put in a cut there, right click again, go to next marker. I'll put in another cut there, right click, go to the next marker, another cut, right click, go to next marker, and we'll put in our final cut. All right, so now we've chopped that all up into separate little bits. Now they'll all move independently. And what we do now is we get our pointer back just here. And if you want the keyboard shortcut for that, it's V. So if you press V, you get your pointer back. And all we do is we want to take every second section out. So we click on this section and we press delete. We click on this section and we press delete. Then we just move these back up so they are just snapping to each other. And then when I play that clip, you'll see that I appear to jump across the screen when I've removed those bits of footage. See that? And then there should be another jump through the gate. Now, as far as transition goes, they're pretty rough, and I'd like to see them a little bit smoother. So what I do is, I'll show you this. I'll just zoom in. If I go to the end of my clip, I put my mouse over the end. If I right click, I can get this option for apply default transition. If I do that, that's just put a cross dissolve on there, and I'll show you what that does. You'll see that I kind of get a ghosting sort of image. I don't want it to be quite so ghosty. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to shrink that cross dissolve up. See how I've just made it smaller? And then that will just smooth out the transition without having too much of that ghosting. And because I want to have exactly the same size transition on the next cut, if I just select that and then do Command C to copy, or if you're on Windows, it'll be Control C. And then I move my playhead along to that next transition. If I do Command V to paste, or you do Control V on Windows, you'll see that it's pasted that transition in. And essentially, that is it. That is how you do a jump cut.